Thanks for joining me today. We have a nice, gentle hip focus class on tap. For this class, you may want to have a blanket or a towel. We have a couple of poses that will be on our knees. So if you have hard flooring or sensitive knees, you might want to have some cushioning under them. You'll also want to have a strap or something similar to a strap, like a belt or a towel that's kind of twisted up. I recommend it longer rather than shorter. So this strap that I'm using is a 10-foot strap. And the reason I'm choosing a 10-foot strap is because this size allows me to wrap it all the way around my body. And if you just have short straps, you have to kind of link them together, which is also not a big deal, but I like the convenience of a 10-foot strap. Also, you may want to have a block with you. We'll just do a child's pose with our forehead supported on a block. But if you don't have a block, that's fine. You can just use your hands stacked up together or place a pillow or something under your head. We just want to have a little bit more support in this child's pose that we're doing today. So to begin, we'll start lying on our backs. So let's begin with our knees bent and our feet flat on the mat. Arms out by our sides at about a 45-degree angle, palms face up. So let's just take a few nice deep breaths together, breathing through the nose. Nice full breaths, breathing deep down into the belly. And then on your exhales, just releasing all of the air and allowing the belly button to pull in towards the spine. So just do a few of those at your own pace. Nice long breaths in and out through the nose. And let's return to our normal breathing pattern. So let's step the feet a little bit wider on the mat, bring your knees together, and then just gently allow the knees to fall from one side to the other in a windshield wiper motion. So let's take these kind of gently at first. This is first real movement of the class, so we want to make sure that we're being kind and gentle, warming up, not just throwing ourselves into a twist or anything yet. So just nice and slow back and forth, not bringing the knees down to the floor, just keeping this gentle. And then let's bring it back to center and just walk the feet in so that they're directly under the knees and in line with your hips, your sit bones. And let's take a big inhale here and then exhale through the mouth. Let's bring both knees into the chest and grab onto your knees or the backs of your thighs, or you can grab onto the front of your shins, whatever feels good. And let's circle the ankles one direction and then the other. And if it feels good, you can rock from side to side. Now, if this still doesn't feel accessible for your body, you can always take a strap, which I have right here, and put it around your shins and hold it like that. So that actually feels really nice because it's more of a relaxing posture. And then let's bring the knees down one by one. If you're using the strap, we're going to keep the strap for our next pose. So for this pose, you're going to keep your right foot flat on the floor. Bring your left knee into your chest. Grab your strap and throw it around your foot and get it around probably the ball of your strap, which is most comfortable, but you can also put it around your ankle, or not your ankle, your heel. So find the best spot. I prefer the ball. It feels more comfortable for me there. I don't recommend using the arch, but it's up to you what feels good in your body. So from here, and also if it's really accessible for you to grab onto your shin, then you don't need to use the strap. It's not very accessible for me, so I'm going to keep the strap on. And let's take a big inhale together. And as you exhale, if you'd like, you can extend your right leg out. So you're just holding that left knee in towards your chest. Just breathing. Nice big breaths here. And let's take another big inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, straighten your left leg, sending that foot up towards the sky. So if you were just holding on to your shins, you can grab onto your toe if that's accessible, or grab a strap and wrap it around the ball of your foot. So from here, if it feels nice, you can put the strap in your left hand, and walk your hand up towards the foot as far as feels comfortable. And then let's take a big inhale here. And then on your exhale, just drop that leg out to the left side, just allowing it to rest in the strap. Or if you can, you can hold on to the outer edge of your foot or your big toes, whatever is most accessible for you right now. And then just breathe here, allowing gravity to do the work. And then let's take another inhale and bring that foot back up to the center. Put the strap in your left hand, and now just cross that leg over a little bit. Sorry, that's your right hand. I'm doing the opposite of you, so I get confused sometimes. So your strap is in your right hand, and you're drawing your left leg over towards the right, but you're not lifting your left hip up off the floor. So make sure that you're not doing this where you drop the whole foot over. That's not what we're doing right now. So we're keeping both hips on the floor, and we're just getting a nice stretch of the outer left thigh. And you might be feeling it all the way in the back of the leg, down through the shin or the side of the bottom of the leg. And then inhale, come back to center. And you're going to bend that knee. I'm going to keep my strap around that foot as I drop it down, and then step my opposite foot into the strap. And bend that left knee again. Draw that right knee in towards your chest. So again, you can use the strap, you can hold onto your shins, whatever feels good. I'm using the strap because that feels more accessible, it's more comfortable for me. And then if you'd like to, you can stretch that left leg out on the mat. How's that feel? Maybe you can take it nice and deep on the right side. Just explore a little bit. What's feeling good? Like for me, it's feeling really nice to just open that knee out. A nice stretch. So just, play around with it. See what's feeling good. And let's take a big inhale here. And on your exhale, let's straighten your right leg. So again, strap really handy right here. So just pressing your foot into the strap. Feel a nice stretch, the back of the thighs. And then bring the strap into your right hand And as you exhale, just drop that foot over. So it's probably falling out of range of the camera for you. But I have my leg straight out to the side. And it's just resting in the strap. Just letting gravity do the work for me. Just breathing. And then let's take another big inhale. And as we exhale, bring the foot back up to center and then place the strap into your left hand. And again, we're just going to draw the foot over a little bit. So you should be feeling it in the outer thigh, a little bit in the hip, a little bit down under your sit bones, maybe through the back of the knee. So just gently. Again, this is not a twist. We're not dropping the foot all the way over to the left side. We're keeping both hips on the floor. Just breathe. And take a nice big inhale through the nose. Exhale, coming back to center. And then put the strap in both hands again. And let's bend the knee, bring it back down to the floor. Bring the other foot into the strap. So we have both feet in the strap. Knees are bent. Draw those knees in towards your chest again. And then inhale, sending the legs up to the sky. And here, just drawing those toes a little bit closer to your nose. Whatever feels good. Like this is a nice stretch for me. Just breathing. It does feel really nice. And again, just play around with it. See what feels good. Let's take one more big inhale. Exhale. Release the feet down. Coming back to knees bent, feet flat on the mat. And let's step the feet wide again, knees together. And windshield wiper. So now maybe your knees go a little bit further towards the floor. We've had a little bit of movement, some stretching. So it might feel good to take this one a little bit deeper. And then come back to center. Walk your feet back under your knees. And then from here, we're going to flip over and come into child's pose. Okay, yogis, so to begin, we're going to be in our hands and knees. Take the knees nice and wide. Set your bottom back towards your heels. Grab a block or something you can rest your forehead on. And we're going to lower the arms down and just take a nice supported child's pose. So I do have weight in my arms. And if you really feel uncomfortable like that, you can lower the block or make your pile a little bit smaller and come down a bit lower. And just breathing. And then on your next inhale, lift the chest and walk the hands back under your shoulders. Bring your knees back in. Set your block aside. So from here, you can do few hip circles. So you're gonna take your left knee and extend it out, and then back and down and out again. So just making a big circle with your knee. And then go in the opposite direction. And then bring it back down. We'll go to the other side. So send that right knee out and make circles. And the opposite direction. Don't forget to breathe. And then sending that knee back down. And just take your hips over from one side to the other, coming back to hands and knees. And then back to the other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hips back to the other side. Inhale, center. And if you want to turn this into a circle, like this, please feel free to do so. Just whatever is feeling nice. So if you're turning it into a circle, like I am here, make sure you go in the opposite direction too. And let's come back to center. Very nice. So from here, we're going to come into a lunge. So you might want to have blocks just for a little support here under your hands. So coming back to standing on your knees, I've got blocks because I really like to have a little bit more height, but you can keep your hands flat on the mat if that feels comfortable. So we're going to step the left foot forward, and then you can bring your blocks to the outside and just stay right here if that feels good. Or you can also bring your hands to your thighs, just breathing here, maybe inching your left toes forward a little bit, taking it a little bit deeper. That feels good. So here it's a combination of sinking your pelvis towards the floor, but not collapsing. So you still are engaging your core, your thigh muscles are strong, but you're allowing the inner right, it's hard to do it when I'm opposite talking, the inner right groin to stretch. Just breathing, sinking into it. And then on your next inhale, come back up. Bring your hands back down to your blocks or the floor. And you're going to straighten out your left leg. Send your hips to hover over your right heel. Walk your hands back by your thighs, left toes pointing up. Keep your chest lifted here. And in this pose, we are dynamically drawing the right knee and left heel toward one another. So that's really activating the thighs, the backs of the legs. Nice deep breaths here. Just breathing. And then let's bring the left hand to the inside of the leg. So both hands are either on the mat or on blocks. And then swing that knee back to meet the right. We're going to do the opposite side. So bring both hands to the left side of your mat. Send your right leg forward. Take that right hand to the outside of the right leg. And then lean into your right leg. So again, find the place that feels comfortable. So we want to make sure that our knee is either over the ankle or behind it. You don't want to have it going too far forward because then it's just a little bit too much pressure on the knee. So instead, inch your foot forward if you need a little bit more space. And just breathing. Sinking into the pose. So you can have your hands on blocks or keep hands on knees, whichever feels best. Just breathing. I'm going to bring my hands back to blocks for this one. And again, remember, you're sinking into the pose, but you're keeping your core activated, keeping those thighs energized. You're not resting. This is not a resting pose. Let's take another big inhale here. And as you exhale, you're going to straighten that right leg. Walk your hands back. Toes point towards the ceiling. Hips hover over your left heel. And dynamically drawing the right heel and the left knee towards one another. And just breathing. And take a big inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, bend into that right knee. Walk those hands forward. Bring the hands to the inside of the leg. And then you're going to send that knee back to meet the left. Come back to hands and knees. And we'll just do a couple of cat-cows here. So coming to a flat back first. On your inhale, lift your chin, lift your tail, fill your belly with air. And as you exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tail, and pull your belly button in towards your spine. Inhaling back to cow pose. Exhaling back to cat pose. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling, and then come back to a flat back. Now from this position on our hands and knees, we're going to transition to sitting on our bottoms, coming into some leg stretches. So the first one, we will begin Janu Shirsasana. So for this pose, you want to have one leg out to the side. So I'm extending my left leg out. And then my right knee is bent and the heel is coming in towards my pelvis. So from here, this is a great place to stay if this feels like you're getting a nice stretch in the hip. And if you would like to take it a little bit further, you can take a big inhale, and as you exhale, just reach over for that foot, grabbing onto the foot or the toe or the ankle or the shin, wherever you can reach that feels comfortable. And just breathing into it. And if you'd like, you can inhale, send that arm overhead. Send your gaze up to the sky. And then from here, if you'd like, You can bring that bicep over the ear, rotate the pinky towards the floor, and breathe. And again, you can take your gaze wherever feels comfortable. You can look down at the mat, straight ahead, or up towards the sky. Breathing into it. Inhale, send that arm back up if it was over your ear. And then we're going to exhale and bring the hand back down. Very nice. We're going to switch the legs out. So again, extending the right leg out, bending the left knee, bringing the heel in towards the pelvis. And you can stay right here if this feels nice. Like this might just be a great inner thigh stretch for you. Otherwise, take a big inhale, and as you exhale, just slide your right hand towards your foot, grab onto your ankle, your foot, your toe, whatever works. And then on your next inhale, if you'd like, you can send the arm up to the sky. And just stay right here if that feels good. Or if you'd like to extend a little bit further, you can bring that bicep over the ear, rotate your pinky towards the floor, send your gaze up past your bicep. Just breathe into it. And again, let your gaze fall wherever feels comfortable. You don't have to look up at the ceiling if it strains your neck. So just do whatever feels good. And then reaching through those fingertips, breathing into it. And let's take another big inhale. Send that arm up to the sky if it's over your ear. And then as you exhale, bring that hand back down. Very nice. So now let's take both legs out for a wide-legged forward fold. So from here, you want to have your heels pressing into the mat. You can also place something under the backs of your knees if you have discomfort, or if you're hypermobile and you're one of those people that overextends. So I'm not going to do that because I am comfortable just pressing my heels into the mat to make sure that my knees are lifted. So I'm also going to take a block, place that in front of me, and then rest my forearms on that with my exhale, folding forward. So you go to the point wherever feels comfortable for you. And if that's just sitting right like this, that's awesome too. So whatever feels good. And just allowing gravity to do the work for you. Just letting your chest slowly sink towards the floor. Keeping those heels pressed into the mat. And just breathing. And let's take a nice big inhale, lift the chest, walk the hands in, going back to sitting nice and tall. So we're going to transition into cobbler pose. So for this pose, we're going to bend our knees, bring our feet so that the soles of the feet are touching. And here I like to pull the flesh away from my sit bones in this pose. And then you can grab onto your ankles or your feet, open your feet like you're reading a book, and you can even take a big inhale, and as you exhale, fold a little bit deeper. You can bring your elbows down to your calves and press your knees open a little bit deeper. if you're having a lot of discomfort with this wide-legged pose, you can also place a block under here, under your knees, to provide a little bit more support for you. So find that type of pose where you feel a little stretch, you can feel like you're sinking into it, but you're not feeling discomfort or strain. And just allow your breath again to help your chest sink a little bit more towards your feet. So again, we don't need to push or pull here really. Like if you want to push your knees and or your elbows into your shins, not your shins, your calves, feel free to do that. If you already have a very wide stance like I do, but if your knees are a little bit higher, focus on just allowing your muscles to relax in that pose, allowing the tendons to release a little bit, and eventually you will be able to get your legs wider. Fine. Especially if you're someone who does activities that shortens the hip flexors and the abductors, then you might feel a lot of discomfort in a pose like this. So we don't want to push and pull and make things feel terrible. You want to feel good in your pose all the time. So if that's the case, definitely use support, use the blocks under your knees, and you can even place a strap all the way around you if that's something that you have available to you. So for example, I can take this strap all the way around me and loop it here so that it provides support so that my legs are resting rather than me like using my muscle strength to hold my legs together. So find the variation of the pose that works good for you. And then just sink into it. So wherever you are is the perfect place to be. And on your next inhale, just lift the chest, walk the hands in. Very nice. This time, we're going to do a little bit of a twist with the hips. So you're going to lift your left knee up and then bring that foot behind you so that your legs are in the shape of a pinwheel. And again, if it's uncomfortable to take your foot really far behind you, you can keep the foot out a little bit. Just do whatever feels good for you. And then from here, I like to use a block in my twists. I'm going to, I moved the block and that just is not helpful. So I like to have two blocks here. So I have one, my right hand on the block on the outside of my right hip. And then I'm going to lift my chest, and as I exhale, let's place my left hand on the block behind my left hip. Gazing past my left shoulder. And again, you don't have to, the head doesn't matter. You're not helping the twist really with your head that much. So if it feels uncomfortable on your neck to look behind your shoulder, you don't need to. You can look straight ahead. And just breathe. And let's take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, just rotate forward, leave the blocks there. We're going to use them again. And then bring the foot back so the feet are coming back together. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, just fold forward one more time. Again, if you need to use the blocks under your knees, please place them there. If you're using the strap, please fix the strap around your thighs. Again, if you want to open your feet like you're reading a book like I'm doing, you can do that. If you want to press your elbows into your calves, you can do that. Just find whatever place feels comfortable where you're feeling a stretch in the outer hip, but not feeling discomfort, not feeling strain. And then on your next inhale, lift the chest, walk the hands in. We're going to go to the other side for that twist. It's bringing the right block behind your right hip, and then taking that foot out, bringing the heel in towards your left hip. Sorry, your right hip. I'm mirroring you, so I keep getting it mixed up. So it's your left hip, and then placing your left hand on the block by your left hip, and then bringing your hand to the right block, sending your gaze past your right shoulder. And again, only taking the twist as far as feels comfortable and allowing your gaze to rest wherever feels comfortable. And take a big inhale. Exhale, coming back to center. And we're going to take one more cobbler pose. Bring those feet together, soles of the feet, getting adjusted again, whatever you need, blocks under your knees, strap around your thighs. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, just fold over your feet, going as far as feels comfortable. Just breathing into it. And then on your next inhale, lift the chest, walk the hands in. If you're using blocks, move them out of the way. Come back to lying on our backs. And so bending the knees. And arms out by your sides, 45-degree angle. So take your right foot and bring it over the top of your left thigh. And just allow that to rest right there. And then start to press your right knee towards the mat. Flexing the right foot. Now, if you'd like to add on from here, you can bring your left knee in towards your chest and grab onto the back of the thigh or the left shin. Or if you're like me and that feels uncomfortable, you can just grab onto your right foot with your left hand and draw that knee in towards your chest. So you're drawing both the knee and the foot towards your chest, keeping that right foot firmly flexed. You want to make sure that you're not allowing the heel to rotate inward. I don't know if you can see it, but like that. You want to keep it straight. And just breathe. And then on your next exhale, you just release the foot, bring it back down to the mat. Go to the other side. So the left foot comes on top of the right thigh. From here, just press your left knee down towards the mat. So you should be feeling a nice sensation in the outer left hip. Maybe all the way down the inner thigh. And then if you'd like to add on, you can bring your left knee in towards your chest and, your right knee. Again, we're doing opposites, so it's your right, my left. And if that's uncomfortable, you can just grab onto the foot with your opposite hand. Draw the knee in towards your chest. Remember to keep your foot straight so that it's not bending the ankle one way or the other. Flexing that foot firmly. And just breathing. And let's take one big inhale here. And exhale. Just release that foot. Both feet back down to the mat. And now take your feet nice and wide. Bring the knees together. You're going to do those windshield wipers again. And this time maybe take them a little bit deeper. Going slower. And then when you come over to the right, just stay in that position. And if you want, you can prop your right foot on top of your left thigh, if that's comfortable. Just sinking here. If that foot gets a little uncomfortable, you can always just drop it back down to the mat. Just doing what feels good for you and your body today. And if your foot is propped up on your other thigh, bring it back down to the mat. Inhale, come back up to center. And then on your exhale, take the knees over to the left. And you can rest right here, or if you want to, you can prop the left foot on top of the right thigh. Just sinking. And if your foot is propped up on your thigh, just release it back down to the mat. And then inhale, bring the knees back up to center. We're going to transition to Shavasana now. So if you'd like to take a more cozy Shavasana, you can grab a blanket, put it over you. You can put a bolster or a pillow under your knees, which is something I'm going to do. I've got my bolster here. I really like Shavasana with a bolster under my knees. And I'm going to grab a blanket and put it under my head at the top of my mat. So just make yourself comfortable however you like and settle in. Let's just take a few deep breaths together. Breathing through the nose. Just releasing any tension you might be holding on to. Sometimes you have to mentally go through each muscle and release it as we hold tension without even awareness. And let's take a big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. And start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Bring your awareness back to the space. And then on your next inhale, send your arms straight out in front of you. Circle your wrists, circle your ankles. One direction and then the other. And then on your next inhale, send the arms all the way overhead. Big stretch from fingertips to tiptoes. And then on your exhale, just draw your knees in towards your chest. If it feels good to give them a hug, you can do that. You can rock from side to side. Whatever feels nice. And then on your next exhale, just roll over onto your right side. Resting your head on your bicep, or if you're using a blanket like I am. Just taking a moment here. And then on your next inhale, just push up, coming to a comfortable seat. So, sitting tall in your comfortable seat, lengthening from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. Let's take one big inhale through the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands come back down to the heart. Press your thumbs into your ribs, spreading your fingers wide like you're sending your heart energy out to the world. Take a big inhale and lift the heart. As you exhale, bow your head to your heart with gratitude. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to practicing with you again soon. And if you enjoyed today's class, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you're always notified when a new class is available.